You're all lonely. All right, I'm going to throw in a little hockey because these guys hate it, but
Yes.
I'm just going to throw it in for
Please
now.
tell me the sport that will not be played this year.
Well, you know what? They're actually talking about it. In fact, they're actually having good meetings for the first time in a
Must be
while.
smoking the reefer, too.
Oh, yes. But they've been talking. This is the second straight day. I mean, it's been going on for about, what, 8 hours? Well, actually, last meeting went on for 11 hours, I beg your pardon. So they met for 8 hours on Tuesday. I mean, maybe some...
I bet you anything 2 of those hours they were watching Happy Gilmore.
Or Slapshot.
Yeah, even I got to laugh at that. But again, the next announcement we hear, it's either, okay, we're going to have the season, and right now it looks like a 56-game schedule if they do play, or that we're not going to have a season.
Now, if they do have a season, do you consider whoever was the Stanley Cup World Champions?
I don't know. You want to do the same thing with Miami Heat last season and the Spurs, what, 6, 7 years ago?
Well, I never really considered the Heat champions in the first place, so they're just a team that finished the regular season without a losing record.
Well, you notice a few of these leagues have actually, cut games out for, 20, 30 games, and they still play the season, they still win a championship. I don't know if you can put an asterisk over it, but, I mean, that's just my point of view. Would you? Any of you?
Yeah, I guess I would have to. Cause, I mean, well, the Spurs, when they won theirs, they were the best team in basketball that year. Plus, they went up against the number 8 seed New York Knicks, so everybody who won that conference in the Eastern Conference, I mean, the Spurs were pretty much given a title. And the Eastern Conference was that weak. Miami, they lucked out so badly last year. So Derrick Rose and the Bulls probably could have took them. They were very powerful, but, it is what it is. And then you had the Spurs who looked like they could have took them, and then the Thunder upset them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Heat lucked out altogether last year, in my own opinion. Pete?
I mean, the way hockey's going right now, I mean, at this point, you might as well just let the players play where they are right now, instead of just letting them play, and then when the league comes back, they all jump back on board with their teams. I mean, that's stupid. You're just gonna irritate everybody who's invested in those minor league games.
We'll just see what happens within the next couple weeks. We'll know something soon. We'll jump to the Thunder. They've won their last 2 games, breaking a streak. They beat Vegas Tuesday 3-1, and last night a 1-0 win and a shutout.
I read about
Cody
that.
Rightguard, his first shutout, or third shutout of his professional career, but first shutout this season for the Thunder. I mean, he looks pretty good. He was signed as the backup. He was the emergency goalie last season for the Thunder during the playoffs.
That's not in Stockton. It was, huh?
Yes, it was.
Oh, so you're probably screaming your head off.
No, I was trying to interview him. He kept going into the, cold shower after.
You should have just followed him.
Oh. I don't want to get into that. But there's your hockey update. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me talk about that. We'll talk a little NFL before we get out of here. Here's a report. According to San Diego, Coach Turner and the GM Smith will be gone at the end of the season, which is probably not a shock to any of us whatsoever.
3 seasons too late.
3 seasons too late. Pete, your thoughts?
Yeah, he was bound to be given a boot sooner or later.
Now the question is, who do you hire to replace him?
Don't know.
It's a whole rebuilding foundation that has to be done. They need receivers. They need a running back, because Ryan Matthews obviously seems to be a bust. The defense needs a complete overhaul. That's going to be an interesting thing that happens in San Diego.
And then you don't know about Phillip Rivers either.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure once he gets back to some people back on his thing, and then he'll be all right. I think he'll be back.
You really think so?
Yeah.
And the other news, apparently Roger Goodell's thinking about eliminating the kickoff. We did hear this a little earlier in the year.
That's the stupidest move in the world.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because then you have to get rid of. I mean, that means you have to lower the rosters. Because what's the point of having Ted Ginn? I mean, what is?
Yeah.
Isn't he just a return? I mean, he's a receiver too with the team, but he's also just mostly used for punt and kick returns.
Yeah.
Then you have to get rid of. Then Devin Hester has to really become a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people. Leon Washington, he's going to have to be released.
Mm-hmm.
From Seattle. I mean, there's a lot of people you have to really think about whose jobs you are performing. So, I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. Why would you want to get rid of the kickoff? I mean, you do that, you're going down the road the XFL went.
And plus, isn't the sport called football?
Exactly.
Aren't you supposed to, kind of kick the ball?
Well, I think they were talking about. Do you have to go for it on 4th down? Because that means you would have to eliminate punts. Because what's the point of having you get rid of the punt returner? I don't understand this move. I understand safety first, but I just don't agree with it.
I mean, the only time, in my opinion, you should eliminate the kickoff is during or what was it? The postseason. Or during overtime, that is. Do the same thing as college.
No, you gotta keep it professional. This is the big boys. This isn't college anymore. You know, you gotta either score and you gotta earn the score. You can't just get set up at the 25-yard line.
Hey, I actually set them up at the 50.
No,
Make them work.
I mean, a kicker can make it for 50 yards. All they have to do is make it 15 yards to the 35. That's 52 yards right there. So
Yeah.
no, you gotta kick it off to them. And then what are you gonna do in overtime when you have to kick it off? Oh, start at the 20. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and what also makes it stupid is, I mean, you get rid of the kickoff, then you get rid of the onside kick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing. That is just like, all right, you gotta throw the ball, bounce it, hope it bounces into someone's head.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's really dumb. It really is.
I mean, they might as well be playing football in the street with a Nerf ball.
Oh, the good old days.
I mean, if you start them at the 20, how about you just start them on the 20 of their end zone?
Hey, you know, now that you said that, Pete, I'm sorry to break conversation here, but does anybody ever do that anymore?
What?
Play Nerf football in the
Years.
Dude, that's like, that was a thing to do growing up.
Yeah, it was. And the last thought that we'll bring for this semester is Rex Ryan. He says, my future isn't tied to the quarterback call.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Sanchez this week, I mean, obviously none of us agree with this.
Yeah, he's,
All right, the question here is, do you think this would actually cost him his job?
yeah, absolutely. You risked everything for Mark Sanchez, the number, 5 pick in the draft. Then you give him an extension just to make him feel safe. Heck yeah, this is going to cost you your job. You were 1 win away from the Super Bowl.
Twice.
With Sanchez as your quarterback, and both times he couldn't come through. So yeah, I do believe that Rex Ryan should be out. He's lost control of the Jets completely. You know, I mean, you got unanimous sources talking about Tebow, who we traded for and doesn't even use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is it for Rex Ryan. I think he's gone after this year, and you know what? He's going to be a great defensive coordinator for somebody to pick up.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, he's just been so horrible this year with his decisions at who's going to be at quarterback. I mean, you got everybody that's crying, hey, put Tebow in, and he's like, oh yeah, but Sanchez is my starter, so I'm going to stick with him. So it's got to cost him his job.
And that he's always supported Sanchez. He always babied him. You
Yeah.
know, and it's just ridiculous. And now look what it's done. It's tore the locker room apart. It tore the locker room apart last year. You know, and it's just like, how much more? I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that New York Post picture of the Giants. They're all celebrating because they have won the Super Bowl. And next to them is the Jets in a clown car. And it's just like, that's the New York Post. You know, that's New York and New Jersey almost put together. You know, and I'm pretty sure the owner sees it. Now, whether the owner don't care because he's trying to make money off these guys, I mean, they just lost, what's that dude, that Firehouse Head? The guy that always wears that Jets, he pretty much made the
Helmet Head.
Jets. He made that chant, and because he supports his team, like a real fan, supports Mark Sanchez, fans have gotten hostile with him. He pretty much retired now as Fireman Ed. And now you've lost your main fan. That's almost like the Niners if they would lose Banjo Man.
Yeah.
You know, it's over Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
You know, it's that ridiculous to where fans don't feel safe wearing a Mark Sanchez. You
Yeah.
invested, you lost, and now your job's done.
Yeah.
See you later. Now you have to keep Sanchez for another year.
Yeah, and it seems to me by him sticking with Sanchez, he's the one that split that locker room up.
Mhm.
That's pretty much what happened. I mean, boy, they were calling for Sanchez to be benched last year.
Yeah.
No, I won't do it.
Yeah.
He should have come through for us. And it looked like maybe Sanchez may have turned the leaf earlier this year against the Bills. Everybody's talking about, oh, look at Sanchez. What happened? He just completely self-destructed again.
Yeah, he fell flat on his face.
And then we could go over and over again, why the heck did you sign Tebow and all that? At least Tebow could get his team to the playoffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I know Sanchez could too, but Tebow could win. All he does is win.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have that kind of situation going on, it's real. You know, you're gonna have that problem.
And with that, we will conclude our show for this semester. What the heck are we looking for?
We're looking for a BG. Last show guy, he looks like he may have misplaced his headphones here.
We'll take a look for him. But with that, we do conclude our show. You've stuck with us for 20 of the greatest episodes of sports talk you're ever going to hear.
Unless you listen to the DJ Slugger stuff.
On the beautiful campus of San Joaquin Delta College. We thank you for watching all our shows, listening to us on live stream, watching our videos on YouTube. We will be back next semester. I hope we keep this gang intact.
Pretty much will, unless, Pete decides to get arrested for backing up Barry Bonds, fighting
Oh,
about being a drug.
So with that, we will conclude our semester. We thank you all for listening. For Vinsanity for the last time. That's
Crazy Richie, I love all you people.
And
I'm Pistol Pete.
we will see you next semester. Please enjoy your Christmas break and happy holidays from all
Good
of
night,
us.
good evening, and
Happy
good luck.
trails.